claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost shit.
Hey! One West! One West! One West! One West! One West!
Coming up on my devotion.
I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fucking scared some. Hit the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow Air Ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit, lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third, lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all steppin', kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a cod. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowin' by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost shit. You see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up on my devotion.
West till they bury me. I'm One West till they bury me. I'm One West till they bury me. I be One West to the death till they bury me. One West till they bury me. I'm One West till they bury me. I'm One West till they bury me. I be One West to the death till they bury me. I be One West to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy, it get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical. Guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since. All the dominance of One West rising to prominent. Cause I be One West to the death till they bury me. I'm One West till they bury me. I be One West to the death till they bury me. I'm One West till they bury me. I be One West to the death till they bury me. I'm One West till they bury me. I be One West to the death till they bury me. I'm One West till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupons for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they want every dollar. They riding by in black Impalas, let the semi holler. The showstopper been as proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm growing them off Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modify the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when the heat's on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas spin like a tire, down the deep. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel to ignite, I'm winning, coming through with the title because death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me.
Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the field like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dawg. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even count. These niggas don't run it like we run it, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till death do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine then. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dawg? Guns and butter, baby boy. UPK top, dawg. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line van to a damn tank. I got choppers stashed in that attic like they in Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, I'm gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real.
Yeah, nigga. Fake ass nigga.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
Fuck you talking about? Hey,
If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. South Coast shit, we bought it. UPK, soup solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK soup salad. Fuck nigga don't want war. Ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All they hoes wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Shoulda took the time.
Is this should I move this? Yeah, let's move this real quick. All right, shalom. Yabashim Yashab Barakatah. This Officer 1000 Ricard Karab teaching Tuesday's Brotherhood class. Today we're going to get into an important topic, which is, going to your brother, going to he and he alone, man. You understand? Because that alone will save a brotherhood. That alone will save a generation. You know what I'm saying? When you just go to your brother and talk to him and work out an issue if you have an issue. You understand? Y'all can hear me on the, what's this called? The StreamYard?
Con out of one con.
Okay, Most High in Christ.
Yeah,
I was about to say, y'all about some y'all shot bracket. What's going on with you, brother?
I'm Tawab, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing Tawab, man. Happy to teach the class. Let me see. So, like, we got anybody on a conference call? All right, no sweat. You know what I mean? That's they call in. If you call in, just say Salakia, so that we can go ahead and get you down for class. We're gonna go into today's topic. Let me see. Is this where I want to start? Right. Shalom, y'all. Y'all shot Brakatha. What's going on with your warrior? Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? We about to go ahead and get it on. We got anybody else on the line? All right, ain't no sweat. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and get into today's topic. Let's see. Give me Hebrews 13:1. Baba Kushah.
Con out of one con.
We're gonna get right into it.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 1. Let brotherly love continue.
Right. It's very simple, man. It gets right down to the point. You know what I'm saying? Very simple verse. Let brotherly love continue, man. Because, without this brotherhood, we would be nothing. You know what I'm saying? Right. Without this brotherhood, we wouldn't know about Christ because that's what Christ taught. We wouldn't damn sure know about the Most High because that's what he wants us to do. He wants us to be brothers and sisters to one another. He wants us to be a nation together, man.
Right.
You understand? Let brotherly love continue. This is how you build a nation. You know what I mean? By caring for your other people that's just like you. Caring for Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man. You understand? Why are we able to say in this kingdom that white supremacy reigns over everything and, you know what I mean, it's white privilege? It's because they have some form of brotherhood with each other. Right. You understand? Now, they do try to separate each other due to like classes, based off of your income or how much you make or, certain things like that. Right. But all in all, they prefer one another over one of us, you know what I'm saying, over another nation.
Right.
You understand? It's easier for one of them to come up than it is for anybody else because they still prefer one another.
Right.
You understand? It's just that their kingdom is going to fall because they wicked.
Come.
You understand? But when we listen to the Bible, we listen to the Most High, we listen to Christ and do what Christ taught us and have brotherhood, that's how we build our kingdom. You understand? Right. Read that verse again for me.
Come, sir. The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 1. Let brotherly love continue.
Right. Let brotherly love continue, man. You understand? There's nothing greater than loving your brother. Right. You understand? There's nothing greater than that. Not loving your woman, not loving, your children, not loving, because you know what? Loving your brother covers all of that. You know what I'm saying? It trickles down. Well, even with, what was it? King David?
Right.
Somebody got that verse real quick? You know the verse I'm talking about, right? He said, when the King David, I'm paraphrasing, he said, I forgot who was he talking to? He was like, more than he loved his woman, he loved his brother.
Salaki Adawan.
You got it?
You know, I can find it, but I know what you're talking about, the brotherhood that him and Jonathan,
that's who it was.
Oh, loved him more than he loved him. Maybe kind of.
Somebody find that for me real quick.
It's like
go ahead.
Is it 2 Samuel 1:26?
That's exactly what it is. Somebody get that for me. 2 Samuel 1:26. Get that for me, Baba Kushah. You could drop Hebrews. We ain't going back to that, but just give me,
26.
yeah, 2 Samuel's chapter 1, verse 26.
Come, sir.
I'm gonna let young man Paul read it. Abishai? Okay, Abishai. You sound just like young man Paul.
Come, sir. The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 1 and verse 6.
Verse 26, Salakia.
Come, sir. 2 Samuel, chapter 1 and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
I am distressed for thee, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant hast thou been unto me.
Right, and we know that Jonathan was the son of Saul.
Right.
You understand? Saul was trying to kill him.
Right.
Saul was trying to kill King David. He wasn't king at that time, but he was trying to kill David because it was prophesied he was going to become the king.
Right.
You understand? And Jonathan was like, nah, like, you know, he loved David. And he exceeded what Saul wanted for David, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why King David's like, I'm distressed at thee. You understand? Go ahead.
Come, sir.
Or start from the top, Salakia.
Come. I am distressed for thee, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant hast thou been unto me.
Right. Go ahead.
Thy love to me was wonderful, passing the love of women.
Right, passing the love of a woman. Now, someone who's ill-informed or who don't believe in the Bible or, you know what I mean, whatever you so call it, they will think that this verse is talking about something that's, you know, LGBTQ. You know what I'm saying? They'll think that this is one of those alternative lifestyles. Look, see, it's in the Bible. But this is not what it's talking about. And even if you think that, you have no idea what brotherhood is. You understand?
Right.
You don't even, you can't even begin to grasp how strong it is to have a brotherhood or to love your brother, man.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
You know, that's just like, you know, when it says he gave him a kiss. Like they think a kiss was an actual kiss.
Right, exactly. But a kiss, if y'all don't know, it's a salute.
Right.
That's a kiss. You understand? But in your mind, you thinking, you know, they Lil Wayne and Birdman. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not what it's talking about. But this verse, he's saying that his love exceeds the love of a woman. You know why? Because when you're loving a brother and you truly love a brother, there's nothing more stronger than that. There's nothing that can break that bond. You understand? A woman can go off. A woman can, you know, be emotional, anything. You know what I'm saying? But when it's with a brother and you have a brother with love, you can conquer the world with that. You know what I mean? You and your woman, that's y'all love separate.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what y'all deal with. But when it's a brotherhood, this is part of the reason why David was able to become king and wasn't killed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no woman that can get better than that. You understand? Go ahead.
And Salakia, sir, like when you saying that, it kind of reminded me of something you would hear in the world. But Salakia, when they be like bros over hoes.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
They already peeped like, yeah, we know how the women love you, but it's about that brotherhood over whatever those women will do.
Right, exactly, man. You understand? That's how you know someone is trustworthy. You know, if he loves his brothers, if he don't put his woman over his brothers. Because whenever you're in a situation where your woman don't like your brothers, then what? You stop being a brother?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We know that it happens. Come on now.
Salakia,
go ahead.
That brother was with you shooting in the gym.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? He was with you day one.
Right.
You just met the woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we know that the brotherhood is the foundation of this whole nation, man. The brotherhood is the the Most High and Christ from the Most High. Christ even said what was the two greatest commandments: to love the Most High with all your heart, which we know is to do the law, statutes, and commandments, and to love your brother. You know what I'm saying? To love your brother. You understand? But give me that. Drop that. Give me. We're gonna get right into it. Give me Matthew 18 and 15. We got anybody else that called in on the line? I think I heard somebody. Yeah, go ahead.
Young man Paul checking in.
What's going on with you, warrior?
Everything too up, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm too Most High Christ. Anybody else? All right, no sweat. You got that, Abishai?
Khan. The book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee,
Right. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, what is a trespass? What does it mean for your brother to trespass against you? Go ahead.
Lucky, sir. It's like if he wronged you.
Right. Is if he wronged you, you know, if he offended you, you know what I mean? That's a trespass. You understand? Go ahead.
Come. Go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Right. It says if a brother has trespassed you, go and tell him his fault between he and thee alone. You understand? Why do you do it alone? Like why wouldn't if a brother trespass you, like let's say we together, a brother trespass you, why wouldn't you just say it right then? Just like, hey, you know, that offended me, that, you know, why wouldn't you just say it right then, right there, you know, and deal with it? Why would you wait? Why would you, you know, pull him to the side or talk to him alone? Go ahead.
Slacky, sir, to avoid like the heat of the moment and the influence of others and things like that.
Right. It's basically, I wouldn't necessarily use the heat of a moment, but go ahead. You got something to say?
Yeah, it called division once you do that. If you like, if I'm bending somebody, they keep holding it in. Okay, say like for instance, Rob and Mama Shar a little bit tighter, have a close relationship than me. And I start talking about Rob. Talk to Rob about Mama Shar. Then you know he gonna be like, you know, they get together like, hey, the pop said this about you, man. You know, do this, they're gonna call division. They gonna call division when the count. It's gonna be team Ride versus team me. But you know, with the way he saw that, you know, he gonna be like, if I'm talking to Ride about Marsar, like he should say like, ain't a part, you know, you need to talk to Marsar about that.
Right. Well, yes.
Him about that. You gotta go to him.
Right. Well, see, that is a situation where that's why you go to your brother. I'm asking, why would you go alone? You are correct. That's why you go to your brother, because that can't happen. We'll get into that later. But just like you said, you'll go. Well, oh, go ahead.
Is it because, you know, that brother specifically offended you? You know what I mean? And that just keep on doing, you know what I mean, from it getting carried away. You know what I'm saying? You're going to nip it in the bud before it gets out of line. You know what I mean? Because that brother specifically offended you. So you should be the one to go step. You should be able to be a man and go step to that brother.
Right. No, all y'all is right. You know what I'm saying? That's the basics of why you do go to him alone. You know what I mean? Which we're gonna break down all both of what y'all just said. That's part of the breakdown. So y'all absolutely correct. But you do it alone to avoid outside influences. You know what I'm saying? You know, you ever been in a situation where you talking to a brother and you know that if you talk to this brother alone, he would not be like that. Like he would not be ready to fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know in your mind, like, if I catch you alone, you not that tough. You not, you know what I mean? But if you do it in front of people, it'll make him want to be like something he's not. You know what I'm saying? Or make him feel more offended to where he feels like now he's being attacked. He has to defend himself. It's like almost as if he might feel emasculated that everybody is watching him, you know what I mean? Or watching the situation. You know what I mean? It's so many things that can happen when you're doing it in front of people. And also on the flip side, you want to check yourself. Because if you do it in front of everybody else, then what, you trying to be the big bad guy? You want to be like a, you know what I'm saying? That's something that's separate that you should talk to with that brother, and y'all can get to the bottom of it and y'all can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? When you do stuff in front of people, a lot of times you just try to show out. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Slacky, sir, I got a question, if I may.
Go ahead.
Could it be that brother could feel that you're speaking for the group in terms of, no, because it's just an offense personally.
Yeah, it's a person.
Okay. Yeah.
So there would never be a situation where you're offending a group. Now, could you offend a group? Yes. But then that group is going to have to talk to you separately alone individually. There's never no group thing of, you know, hey, that's very Christian. That's like something that IUIC will do. You know, hey, we all was offended by you, brother, and, you know, gang up on a fucking brother. Slakia. That's weak. You know what I'm saying? There's no group offense where everybody is going to this one brother and we're standing against this brother. Like, No, that's weak. You don't gang up. You know what I mean? Now, if his brother said something that did offend everybody, then everybody's going to go to him individually, one-on-one, and let him know. Or the brother probably realize when two brothers say something, and he'll come to the rest of them and be like, hey, Salaki, if I offended you, you know, da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
You know what I mean? That might be a situation where the brother probably ended up realizing, damn, I probably offended all of them. Let me just go ahead and apologize to all of them. You know what I'm saying? But no, there's no you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you go to them alone because it, like I said, it just avoid any type of outside influences to where it's just a one-on-one. You can get more personal and more down to the problem when you're talking one-on-one with someone rather than you talking in a group.
Right.
So that's why I say go to he and thee alone. You know what I mean? And just like how other brothers said, you don't want to go to other people and talking to other people about the situation because, like the Napash said, it can cause division. You know what I mean? Just like how he explained it. I got an issue with Napash, but instead of me going to Napash, I'm going to you and talking about Napash.
Right.
Then in your mind, you start to formulate your own opinions on Napash based off of me, but I'm being wicked in doing that. And now it causes multiple people to not like Napash because I'm over here talking shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And really, I'm the bitch in the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're right. So Napash was absolutely right about that. Read that for the from the top.
Come, sir. The book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Right. Go and tell him his fault between he and thee alone. Man, this is so important because this will save a nation, man. What a lot of our people are out there killing each other based off of someone not being able to talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of fights, nigga moments, whatever you want to call it, start from you not being able to talk to another brother, man. You know what I'm saying? We think of it in our mind as we're masculine. If somebody offends us, we just go fight. We'll just shoot it out. Shoot the ones. Right. You know what I'm saying? No, that's emotional. That's what you see your mother do.
Right.
When your mother gets mad and get angry, she starts to be violent. That's what you see your mother do. That's what you growing up in a single parent home, seeing your mother do. Or even if you in 2-parent home, and your mother starts beating on your dad. You know what I'm saying? That's what you see in your mind. So you think that that's what you do. Somebody make you mad, somebody make you angry, somebody offend you, fight them. That's a woman characteristic. That's emotional. You understand? A real man would talk it out and would avoid altercation, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you think about Israel and Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, there should be no fights amongst us.
Right.
That's why this law was put here so we could work out every issue. And this starts with one of them, to go and talk to the brother. You know what I'm saying? And what you would be surprised to realize is you going and we in the truth, so we know how to work in the truth. But you'll be surprised to realize is even if you go out in the world and you find a situation, you might not always can't do it. But you find a situation where a brother's mad at you and they normally be mad at you, and you just go and say, hey, man, let me talk to you. You'll realize that y'all come to an agreement and that brother will respect you. That brother will be like, you know what? And that's when you'll gain the brother, which is the next part. Go to the next part.
Come, sir. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Right. You'll gain that brother. That brother be like, damn, I'm sitting here mad at you, and all of a sudden, and long behold, it was a misunderstanding.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or maybe y'all did have some beef, but then he seen you come and be a man and been like, man, my bad, man. You know what I mean? He's like, damn, I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, y'all friends.
Right. Best
Listen,
friend.
my best friend in the world that I had when we first met, we was about to fight. I was about to fight this brother, but then we talked it out, and that's my best friend since like middle school in the world. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times you'll find out that your friends that's around you be the ones plotting on you, but people that you might got a disagreement with, you probably got more in common than you know, but you just never took the time to talk to them and try to figure out the issue. And that's why this verse is so important, man. You know, you don't want to go around having no grudges with no brother. That's weak. And it's against the law. Because the scriptures say if you hate your brother, then you are a murderer. You know what I mean? Damn, murdering your brother. The scripture said if you hate your brother, you're a murderer. We're going to get more into it. But that's how important it is to go to him and him alone. And another thing is you got to realize when you're offended. You understand? A lot of times we'll try to trick ourselves in our minds that we're not offended by something and brush it off. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, let's say if me and the Pasha is joking, and I might say a joke that he really don't like. Like, he really don't like. Back in the day or in the world, when somebody said this joke, he ready to steal off on them. But I said a joke, and he like, you know, he thinking his mom, oh, we brothers, so he ain't really, you know, so he brush it off. And he like, oh, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? You got to realize you actually was offended by that joke. You normally, you know, you don't like people saying that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But just because it's me, now you thinking in your mind, well, yeah, that's also something that you got to make sure you know, hey, listen, you know, I don't really like that joke. I know he was joking. This, that, and you got to know when you're offended by something, man. You understand? If you feel some type of way, or if it rubs you the wrong way or something, it's not emotional or a woman thing. If you're offended by something, let it be known. You understand? Because if you don't, what ends up happening is it'll fester in you. That's another reason why you go to your brother and your brother alone. Because once it starts to fester in you, you start to do, you know, you start to do things that inadvertently exclude this brother because, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, for instance, he never said something about this joke. So now when he comes around me, it's like, I don't really talk to Ricard like that because, you know what I'm saying? Like, in his mind, it's like, I don't really got no issue with him, but you try to find yourself not being around me because you might be worried that I'm going to say the joke or, you know, just any little thing, man. You understand? Like, real talk, people got to stop being bitches, man. You understand? And that's just, you know, Salaki, but that's just the straightforward way to say it. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to that brother and talk. Don't be scared to talk to no other brother if you're offended by something.
Right.
Because number one, you're wrong. Even if the brother was wrong and offending you, for you not saying nothing, you're the bitch in this situation, man. You're the one that's wrong. You're the one that's not following what Christ told us. You understand? Because on the other side, how would his brother know if he offended people? You understand? That's why this is so important. This is the foundation of building a nation, man. You understand? Read that from the top one more time.
Come, sir. The book of Matthew, chapter 18, and verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
That's how you keep a brotherhood, man. You understand what? Nasty Nate said that he's seen much polygamy and all the other stuff that he's seen, backbiting or whatever the hell he's seen. He had issues with brothers. But he was a bitch and he didn't go talk to a brother. This is what the scripture said. If he knew the scriptures, he would go talk to the brother and figure it out.
Right.
And if the brother didn't hear him out, they would take it to counsel.
Right.
And you would figure out who the hell is wrong and who the hell is right.
That's right.
But instead, you leave. And that's what you'll find out a lot of people leave the truth for. They have an issue with a brother. Maybe the brother is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he is wrong.
Right.
But they'll have an issue with a brother. They're not man enough to say anything. So now they might think, oh, this can't be the truth because this brother is treating me this way. That's not what the scriptures say, man. You understand? You got to be a fool to think that you're not about to be around a whole bunch of Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. You're not going to get offended at all.
Right.
Listen, we sometimes we roast. Especially if you grow up in the South. My God. We roast. That's what we do. We Joan. You know what I'm saying? You got, it's like damn near when you go to school and you in the South and you Black, if you don't know how to Joan, then sheesh, I feel bad for you. It's like if you don't, you're going to develop how to. You're going to get tired of it and you're going to develop how to. You can't fight everybody, man. I mean, you can't fight everybody. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be a fool to think that you're not going to get into any type of offense in the nation. You know what I mean? Whether it be, you know, more than likely it's going to be an accident. Nobody's trying to offend you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the scriptures is in here. Because the Lord knows, like, you're going to be offended by something. You can't, this is not magical. But when the problem presents itself, there's a solution. And that's why you have to know this. You have to be able to be ready to go to him and him alone. I'm telling you, it'll be the smallest thing that can offend you. You know what I'm saying? It could be the smallest thing that can offend you. And even if you're wrong, if you're offended by it, say something, because then you'll realize, okay, this is where I'm wrong. Or you know what I'm saying? Let it be that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said Salakia?
Like, if I may, sir.
You go ahead.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like if I'm putting it together.
Hold on, we got a question.
Very heavy what you're bringing out. That's just how you brought out, the two, great commandments as far as loving the Lord and my brother. I just found it interesting that Scripture tells you to go to each the same way. Pray, you go, you pray in your closet in secret, just like
you got to speak up. You're starting to get muffled. I heard you say that the Scripture said. I heard you when you said that, but you got to speak up. It sounded a little bit more. It sounded a little unclear. And you can make that bigger somehow so I can be able to read it. I know last time you was doing it, I was able to read it. Go ahead.
Is it better?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, like if I'm putting this together wrong, but it was very heavy how you put together the two great commandments of love the Lord and love your brother, and then when it tells you how to go to each one, it's similar. It's saying when you go to the Lord, and you pray in your closet, and it's like a private meeting between you and the Lord. And if you have a problem with your brother, saying the same thing, you go to them in private.
Oh, okay, I see. You saying that's what you taught in the Christian church?
No, so like I'm saying that I was putting those two together because with loving the Most High and loving the brother, it gives you the same example of how you communicate with them. As far as going to the Most High in prayer, you don't do it out in the streets openly. It's something you do, well, not secretly. But
Okay, right.
Just like when you have a problem with your brother.
With a brother, right. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You like we not like the Muslims, you know what I'm saying? The Muslims, they in their mind, they think they're so devout that they could be in the middle of the day. If it hit a certain time, they got to put the sheet out right in the middle of the street. And you know what I'm saying? Show you, you know what I'm saying? The Lord don't like that because you just showing off for men.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Lord would rather you, pray to him, you know what I mean, on your own time. You know what I'm saying? Make it more sincere. It's like it's more sincere. Same thing with going to a brother. It's more sincere. You're not trying to show out. You're not trying to belittle a brother. You're not trying to, you know what I mean, be macho or something like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Napash, you were saying something?
Oh, yeah, there's a comment from also Don Moss.
Oh, I see it right there. Okay, yeah, exactly, man. We would never. This. They're not going to teach you this in Christian church. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go into that Christian church, everybody hate everybody in there. Right. They hate each other in there. Hell, you know what I'm saying? They know the pastor sleeping with their daughter. You know what I'm saying? They hate everybody in there. So they're absolutely right. You can leave it big, keep it big though. I like it when you do that. You know what I'm saying? I like that. You was gonna say something?
That was heavy what you just said, because it's like they keep you angry with each other,
mm-hmm.
telling you not to judge nobody and turn the other cheek, and that just leaves you in this bubble where you just keep turning away and taking your problems to the house, and just being mad. But Salakia, sir, that was just heavy what you just said. But I did have a question.
Go ahead.
Offending a brother, would that be like, because you were saying the two greatest commandments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Love thy brother as thyself. If you offend your brother, would that be a trespass against the Most High as well? To trespass against your brother, like to sin against him, is to sin against the Most High in essence?
No, so okay. It wouldn't be a trespass against the Most High.
So it wouldn't be a sin.
Like it. Now I can't sit here and say it wouldn't be a sin because it depends on what you do. Like for instance, if I stole from you, that's damn sure a sin, right? Is it not? If I slept with your woman, is that not a sin?
That would offend me.
If I, you know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to think, but you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. There's stuff that you can do, and it is a sin.
Right. There's specific sins, but if I just
roast you and you was offended by it, I'm not sinning. You know what I mean? Like, and also what you got to realize that offense can happen unexpectedly. Like I can offend you and not even realize it, and don't even think that what I'm doing is wrong. Like that's what I'm trying to figure out, something that's so small. Let me think. I'm trying to think of something that's so small that could offend you. You know what I mean? Like I can't really think now, but okay, let's say this is something very small. You know what I mean? But let's say I'm telling you, hey man, go out with me. Follow me to this spot. We about to go out. And I didn't give you the address or nothing. I just left you. Just gone, zoom. You could be offended by like, damn, you asked me to go out and I don't even know what I'm going and you left me and you didn't even.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh damn, my bad. You know, like I said, it don't even gotta be that serious. Oh damn, my bad. You right. Shit. Sloppy. You know what I mean?
Okay, then my question is, do I have to say something about it?
If you're offended by it, yes.
Then I have to say something.
Yes. Then, that's what the scriptures say.
Right. Then go to it's not a suggestion. It's more like a command in terms of
if you this is like a commandment. If you're offended by something that a brother does, you have to say something.
Well, Salaki, sir, would this then apply? I got the book of Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness, whether he hath seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
Right, and that's exactly correct. And I got a scripture that's going to precept that and back it up. So that's absolutely correct. So you can keep that precept because I got something for it. So hold that. You know what I'm saying? Most High Christ. But I got a question now. Let's say I got two questions. Can you be offended by something that doesn't involve you? Anybody? Go ahead. You can? Right, exactly. Meaning, let me give you an example. Let's say if Makwalat and the Pashra was arguing, and Makwalat being the officer, like checking the Pashra and I just happened to witness it. I'm just there, like, and he's going in on him like, you shouldn't the way he just talking to him like I can witness that and be offended by how he treated you.
Right.
And then I can go to Makwalat, and because that's the offense, and I can be like, hey, Salakia, brother, you don't talk to that brother like that. And damn sure don't do it in front of me. You know what I'm saying? You can be offended by something that don't even involve you.
Right.
That's another thing that you got to realize. You know what I'm saying? Now I got another question. What if a brother is, okay, let's say, what if you dropping a brother home, right? And a brother gets out the car, and as he get out the car, you realize that a roach or half of a blunt fell out of his pocket. Could you be offended by that?
What
would you do in that situation? What would you do in the situation that you dropped the brother home and he in the school and a half a blunt fell out of his pocket when you dropped him off when he was getting out the car?
Correct.
Go ahead.
Yes, you can be offended, and in that case, you would take it up with the men above you.
Nope, you don't take it up with the men above you. Go ahead.
Would you tell the brother, you know what I'm saying, like that offended me, you know what I mean? Like if you got any issues, now you need to go see counsel. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, if that happens again, you know what I mean, you definitely gotta take it to the counsel.
Well, no, because if it happens again, you don't. If it happens again, what does the scripture say? If boy, put it like this, he's right. Makwalat was right. If you in a situation where you might witness a brother sinning, just like how you seen, or you know what I mean, something like that will happen, you could be offended by that and you go to him and him alone.
Right.
You wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm taking you to counsel, or I'm telling the higher ups, or I'm telling them. No, you go to him and him alone. And just like how Makwalat said, you like, hey, brother, you know you can't smoke. You know what I mean? You a trooper, or you an officer of 50 in the school, or you know what I mean? Young man, you kind of give a leeway. Now you can be offended just because you had it in your car. So it's just like if I got pulled over and it got found out, now I'm connected to having drugs in my car. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you can be offended by. But like as far as doing that, you can be like, hey, look, you're an officer, or you a trooper in the school, and you smoking weed. You can't smoke weed. Like that offended me that you even have weed near me in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like you know you can't smoke weed. Now if you having an issue with it, or you battling, fighting, smoking weed, then you might need to tell the camp leader to see if you can get some counsel on that situation. Now the brother said, you know what, you're right. You know what I'm saying? Slovakia, you're right. He hears you. If it happens again, what does the scripture say? You got to do that again. Because it says what? Forgive thy brother not 7 times, but 70 times 7.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? So if a brother always apologizes, you got to keep going to that brother, and you got to deal with that brother. You know what I mean? Now, hopefully, as you keep talking to him, the brother will understand and get serious with it. You know what I mean? And he'll realize. You understand? But that's on you to, you got to keep checking that situation because it's an issue between you and him. Now, we know that, what's done in the dark will come to light. So if the brother keep doing it, eventually somebody else is going to find out about it. It's not just going to be you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But in that situation, you go to him and him alone. You don't, I'm going to go tell the higher ups, or I'm not going, no. That's you got to go to him and him alone. That's an offense. You know what I mean? And it goes into the scripture that he heard, that he seen, that he read. Read that scripture again. I told you to hold it.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and verse 1. And if a soul sin,
right,
and hear the voice of swearing,
right,
and is a witness, whether he has seen it or known of it,
right,
if he does not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
Right. Uttering it is, you got to tell that brother what he's doing. Uttering it is not, I mean, yeah, or you immediately go in and try to tell on the brother. You know what I'm saying? Because then you got to watch yourself with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Uttering it is letting him know, like, hey, what you doing is wrong. You should not be doing that. You can't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You going to him and him alone, man. You understand? You got to deal with that. You got to work with that brother. You know what I mean? That's with anything. You know what I'm saying? That's with drugs. What give me something else that people do in Atlanta. You know what I mean? That just people do. Go ahead.
Slock y'all one. Just for a little clarity on this, because the reason I gave that answer was based off of watching Captain Contreras' last history breakdown in Chicago, and he used the metaphor or the scenario of, if he was caught smoking a cigarette, what would the other brothers have to do? And that's why I was just trying to see, is it because of his position in the school, or is it going to what you're saying is just like more of a repetitive thing? Because he was putting it in the example of how the priests of UPK are pretty much the law. They're the officiators of the law, basically. Like they're the ones that police the law, as well as us policing ourselves.
That would have
for a little clarity on that.
Right. No, it would have to be a repetitive thing for it to even get to that point. But if you just seen it, you have to go to him and him alone. I have personal experience with this. Like from Captain's personal experience, you have to go to him and him alone. You know what I mean?
Excuse me.
Go ahead. Somebody said something?
Yeah, it's Orlando. My phone is on 2%. I've been waiting patiently to ask the question. I just wanted to ask you real quick. It's relating on the topic a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to know like what the Bible says about dating outside the nation.
Dating outside your nation. What the Bible say about that? Somebody give me any verse. I know y'all know a bunch of verses. Somebody just give me a verse and just break it down. And you said, who is this? Orlandis.
Yes, sir.
All right, young man, Orlando. Where you calling in from?
Jonesboro, Georgia.
All right, Most High in Christ. All right, and I'm good to hear from young man Orlandis. Hold on. We're gonna get this verse for this brother real quick. Answer this question. Salaki, go ahead. You got it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 3.
Right. We had Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Young man Orlandis, you got that? Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Go ahead.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Go ahead.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
Salaki, them is the other nations. When he say neither shalt thou make marriages with them, he's talking to the Israelites, Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. He's talking to them, and he's saying that you should not make marriages with them. Them is the other nations. Them is white woman, Arab woman, Chinese woman, whatever the hell you like that's not of this nation. He's saying you should not make marriages with them. Go ahead.
Come. Salaki, thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
Right. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son. Meaning that you shouldn't give your daughter to their sons. First of all, if you give your daughter to their sons, you're killing off your own nation.
Right.
Because that is just going to procreate their nation.
That's right.
You understand? You are the seed of your father. So if you give your daughter off to a white man, that is not a black baby.
Right.
That is not a Hispanic baby. That is not a Native American baby, so-called. Right. That is going to be Esau. Go ahead.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Right. Nor shall you take his daughter and give it to your son. You understand? Because that's a Black, Hispanic, Native American woman without a husband. You understand? And we know we don't take in other nations to be combined with us. You're diluting your seed.
Right.
Look, I heard a black person actually say that and was proud of it. That he got a white woman and said, I'm diluting the seed. And I'm just like, well, damn. You know, you shouldn't take their daughters and give it to your sons. Go ahead. That's it on it.
Oh, Khan and Salaki, sir, the context, if he was asking, you was giving the them, and it's all in verse 1. It goes through Hittites, Girgashites.
Right. No, we know who them is. You know what I'm saying? But there you go. And listen, brother, it is multiple scriptures in the script. There's multiple scriptures in that Bible that says that we shall not be married into other nations. You understand? The Lord chose us to be a special people above all the people of the world. You understand? He doesn't want us mixing in with other nations. You understand? Matter of fact, he don't want no nation mixing at all. Right. If the Lord would have it his way, nobody would mix at all. Everybody would stay with their own nations. If he wanted us to mix, otherwise he would make everybody the same people. Right. But he made everybody separate for a reason. You understand? But there you go. That's the scripture, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. He don't want you giving it to no marriages, no matter what fake Israelite group or whoever the hell, you know what I mean, that might have said that you could say, Christians, whatever. The Lord is against that. You understand? Go ahead.
Right. And if you look at it, see, like, take for your oppressor, for instance, especially his elite, he ain't gonna allow his daughter or his son to marry nobody out of his nation. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly right. You know what I'm saying? So
you gotta look at the Isupk as these are the elite men of the Lord. These are the elite men of Israel.
Right, exactly. So I mean, listen, the Lord is against marrying other nations. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where you finally got the truth and you're already married to another nation, you're gonna have to stay with that woman. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord is not with divorcing.
Right.
You understand? Look, you didn't know. And in your ignorance, you did it. And now that you do know, you know what I'm saying? Now that you do know, you understand you're forgiven for it, but you can't just leave that woman. So if you find yourself, you were in a situation where you was already married to one before the truth, then that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna have to stay married to her. You in the truth, you know the truth. You know, if you decide to come in here and be a trooper, she can't come in here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or he can't come in here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, you got to stay with that person. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it on that. That answer your question?
Yes, it is.
All right, no sweat. All right, give me what was we at? We was give me Matthew 5 and 23.
Come.
All Oh, you got another question? Go ahead.
Come, Salaki.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Do too much, but it's what you said. Like, how do you you brought out the scripture where it says to forgive your brother 70 times 7.
Right.
But then, how do you? What does this mean then in Titus? Because that's the first thing I thought of.
Mm-hmm.
If I told him once and then he was like, all right, and I told him again, then it's like, okay, let me just read the scripture. Salakia. This is the book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, a man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition reject. You see, if I would have read that all the way through, I would have seen that it's, he said, nah, to hell with that. Like, I can smoke my weed, He rejected
He's rejected it. Right.
Versus he is remorseful.
You gotta think of You gotta think of a heretic. He's not hearing you out.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not. He's like, that's like if you're trying to teach the truth to someone. That's more so like if you're trying to teach the truth to someone, and you're telling the brother, and he's like, nah, the hell with that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you don't know what the hell you talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you try, but you're not giving up on the brother. So you try again, and he's just like, okay, well, he rejected. This is not for him.
Right.
This is a situation where you talk to the brother, and the brother understands. And he's trying, you know what I mean? He's trying to understand. It's like you're dealing with a brother. Hell, it happens all the time with young men. You know what I'm saying? They're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, but that's why they come in here. They come in here to shed themselves to the world. That's why we have the trooper program.
Right.
They're not just gonna do it overnight. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and a matter of fact, I left off with this is like, someone doing drugs. I'm trying to think of stuff that's big in Atlanta, like somebody scamming. You know what I mean? You said what? Dealing with women, whores, scamming, all that. You know what I'm saying? You see that, you gotta, talk to her, but let her know he's wrong. And especially if you're a young man, you're a young man, you shed it in yourself for the world. I guarantee you, the brother's still doing that when it's time to be a trooper. He's not going to be a trooper anymore.
Right.
Like you can't come in here doing all the filthy stuff that you was doing in the world. I think you're gonna keep doing it.
Right.
You can go to IUIC for that. You can go to whatever the hell other group out there is, but you're not going to do that in here. You understand?
Right.
So you said Salaki Makola?
Sir. It's like with forgive a brother 70 times 70. I mean, forgive a brother 7 times 70. Before I paraphrase this Christian, is a safe way to look at that. Like you have, what I'm saying, even with ourselves, like when we came into the truth, what I'm saying, we stumbled, what I mean, we dealt with stuff and all that kind of stuff, but we didn't deal with stuff, and like when we did something one time, like, all right, that's it, man. I'm gonna cut myself off. I ain't gonna come to the truth. I don't belong in the truth. Now you kept fighting until you got it right, you know what I mean? But the thing is, like you said, you kept fighting. So when you see another brother, you know what I mean, he you see battling. You know what I mean? If he ain't just tap you up and being like, man, get out my face with all that, you know what I mean? You just gotta, that's that patience, the same patience the Lord gave you, man. You gotta be a brother to that brother, you know what I mean? Unless you want the Lord to take you out the next time you do something wrong. It's like,
right. What's the precept for that? You're absolutely right. I'm telling you that you absolutely right. Well, what's the precept for that?
Salaki Adawan.
And all y'all know. All y'all. You said what?
Is it catch the beam at your own level?
No, I mean that you can use that one, but I'm using one that everybody knows. You don't even got to read the Bible to know this one. Like you literally don't even have to believe in the Bible, read the Bible, or you might have picked it up a day in your life, but you know this one. Who knows?
Salaki.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Love thy brother as thyself, Adawan.
Nope. This is one, he said that, with the 70 times 7, you always got to forgive your brother because you know what you did, and you want to forgive your brother because who knows if you don't, the Lord can take you out for what you do, because the Lord have mercy on us, so we shall have mercy on the brothers. Come on, man. Y'all got to know this one. You don't even got to know don't even think about a scripture. Just, you know this, man. You know this. We'll give you maybe like 1 minute. Somebody know this. Everybody gonna know when I tell them.
Right.
Go ahead.
Salaki, forgive your brother because God forgave you.
Yeah, but make it to where we know what it's talking about.
So well, you gotta treat that brother like you treat yourself.
Nah, that's what the other brother said. I mean, that's true, but
forgive my trespasses as I forgive those who trespass against me.
exactly, man. It's in the Lord's. It's in the Lord's prayer. It's in the Lord's prayer. You understand? A lot of us probably don't understand what that, like, not in the truth, but when we heard it, you don't really know what it means. But yes, you forgive those trespasses, and as the Lord will forgive yours. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, how can you do what you've done and ask for forgiveness for the Lord, but you can't even forgive your own brother?
Right.
It makes no damn sense. You understand? If you holding on to a grudge and you can't forgive someone that's saying that they apologize, then why the hell should the Lord forgive you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We all know that. Right. So you're absolutely right about that, and that's the precept, the Lord's Prayer. I think it's in Matthew 6 and 9. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, give me Matthew 5 and 23. This is good. This is another precept to show you how important it is to go to your brother and your brother alone, man. You can, if you're not going to your brother when you're offended by something, listen, I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna tell you a bitch first and foremost. I mean, Salakia. But there's another scripture that's going to show you what I mean, why I say this. Go ahead. Abishai, you got that?
Come on, sir. The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 23. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar.
Right. If you bring your gift to the altar, when you bringing a gift to the altar, what you doing?
Making a sacrifice?
No, it's not. I mean, no, if you bringing a sacrifice to the altar, then you're making a sacrifice. But if you bring a gift to the altar, what are you doing?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
A bribe.
You said a what?
You're trying to bribe the Most High.
No, this is not even used in that context. Go ahead.
Is it simply just like a gift? You know, like how we like a priest offering or something like that?
Right. It's like a priest offering. It's like you're trying to give to the Lord. It's like you're thankful to the Lord. You're trying to show the Lord how much you worship him. Like, you know what I mean? This is a gift to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Come, sir. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there remembereth that thy brother hath aught against thee.
Right. So you brought a gift to the altar. And as you bring the gift, you remember, oh, damn, I got a problem with such and such, a brother. Go ahead.
Come. Leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift.
Right. The Lord said, man, leave your gift. The hell with your damn gift. You better go back and talk to that brother and reconcile with that brother. And then you can come back. Meaning that you can't even offer gifts to the Lord if you got a problem with your brother.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how much you not even in the truth. If you got problems with your brother, you can't say anything. You just quiet.
Right.
You know what I mean? You 1 foot out the door, man. You got a grudge against your brother. You got a problem with any type of brother in here, and you're not trying to find a solution to figure it out by going to that brother. And then even if you went to the brother to take it to counsel, you damn near 1 foot out the door. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said he don't want your gifts, man. He don't want you giving to him and you acting like, you know, you're such a great brother, but yet meanwhile you secretly hate another brother because you can't go to him or you offended. And you know what I mean? That's how important it is to go to another brother, man. It's like it stops your whole function if you don't go to that brother alone. That's how important it is. You know what I'm saying? Read that from the top again.
Come, sir. The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 23. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar,
right,
and there remembereth that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother.
That's how important it is. The Lord said to first be reconciled with thy brother, man. You understand? More important than you giving gifts is for you to have a strong brotherhood, man.
Right.
It's for you to let brotherly love continue, man. It's for you to have a bond that can't be broken with your brothers. You understand? That's why Commander General Yohana had built this off of brotherhood. You understand? Because that is what keeps us together. And we can't have anybody causing rifts between it. You understand? Because it's not of the Lord.
Right.
Everybody has to love each other like they love themselves. That's when all y'all precepts come in and what y'all said. That's how you got to have it. You understand?
Come.
So drop that. Give me Galatians 6:1. This goes into the Leviticus verses you had. Give me Galatians 6:1.
Come on, sir. Salaki, sir, I have a question real quick.
All right, go ahead.
When I had said I was thinking that, like, if you try to bring a gift to the Most High without getting things straight with your brother first, then wouldn't that then it seem like you would be trying to bribe the Most High?
It could seem like you trying to bribe the Most High. It could seem like you knowing that you have an issue with the brother and you're not doing what you're supposed to, but you're trying to, use this as like a, you're bribing the Most High. Really, you're trying to bribe yourself. Because the Most High knows, and it ain't no bribing the Most High. Really, you're trying to convince yourself that, I'm not wrong for doing something that you know that you're wrong in.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got that for me, Galatians 6:1? Or go ahead.
So that's just like with Christians, you know what I'm saying? Like buy each other gifts, you know what I mean? Instead of just talking it out and adding it out, you just buy a gift, you know what I'm saying? And then that holds it over for a little while, then you back doing the same thing, and then now you got to get another gift, you know what I'm saying? So like,
well, no, not necessarily. Not necessarily, but it is like Christians in a sense of they'll go out and sin and offend everybody else and fight everybody else and hell, even kill a brother. But then they'll go on Sunday on Christmas church and pay their tithes, throw some money in the little tithing bucket and think that everything is good. It's like that in that sense. That's because in their mind, they thinking that Christianity and that church is of God. So they're giving gifts to God when they when they throwing money in the bucket. They feel like they're supporting God.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they doing it after they just sold somebody some drugs. You know what I mean? After they just beat a brother to death. You know what I mean? After they just shot a brother. After they just had sex with some other brother's woman. You know what I mean? So it is in that sense. All right, you got that for me? Galatians 6:1?
Salaki Adawan.
Go ahead.
One last question, if I may.
Oh, go ahead.
Would you use the precept to cut that on obedience is better than sacrifice?
Right. Obedience is better. Well, so let me think for a second. No, I wouldn't use that as a precept because when they say obedience is better than do you know why I said obedience is better than sacrifice? Matter of fact, pull that verse for me real quick.
Come, sir. First Samuel. Hold on.
First Samuel 15:22.
Come, sir. The book of First Samuel, chapter 15 and verse 22. And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices?
Right. You know what I mean? Meaning that when back in the day, it was when you sinned, you would bring a sacrifice to atone for your sin.
Right.
You understand? And the sacrifice was to the Lord.
Right.
You understand? The Lord, the sacrifice, right? But then it goes more into it. So, back in the day, you got to think in your mind that, okay, if I sin, then I will just bring a sacrifice. I bring a dove. I bring whatever what was the required sacrifice, a ram, whatever, and sacrifice, and I'll be forgiven of the sin. Keep going. So he says, have the Lord great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices? Yes, he has great delight in them, but go ahead.
Come on. As in obeying the voice of the Lord.
Right, but he rather you obey his voice. You understand? Right. He rather you obey his voice than having to sacrifice. I'm going to get more into it. Keep going.
Come on. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice.
Right. To obey the Lord is better than the sacrifice. Keep going.
Come on. And to hearken than the fat of rams.
Right. And to hearken, and hearken is to listen, is the fat of rams, meaning the Lord liked the sacrifices, but the point of the law wasn't to make this sacrifice and keep sinning. Like you can get into a repetitive state to where it's just like, okay, I'm just saying all I want.
Right.
But long as I sin, long as I just got the animal to sacrifice, I can just go ahead and do it. Yeah. The Lord don't want you to keep sinning and then you have to sacrifice in order to, you know what I mean, to atone yourself so you can keep doing it. The Lord would rather you just not sin at all.
Right.
You understand? The Lord would rather you just listen to him and that's that. And you don't got to sacrifice anything because you're following the Most High. You understand? So I wouldn't use that as a precept because, like I said, this is talking about a sacrifice rather than a gift for one. And this is talking about, you know, the Lord wanting you to follow the law rather than sacrifice. And that's why there is no law of sacrificing anymore. You understand? Christ was the last sacrifice. You understand? And he atoned for all of us. And now it's getting it right. There ain't no, you know, you sacrifice a dove because you want to goddamn steal. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I wouldn't use that as a precept. But we can drop that and give me Galatians 6:1.
Come on. The book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit.
Right. That goes into that. Right. That goes into what Trooper Napashrai was saying. You understand? If you see a brother overtaken in a fault, help the brother out, restore the brother. You understand? You could be offended by that and you go talk to that brother. You see a brother, you see the brother left the blunt in your car, half the blunt fell out of his pocket. You know, you see him in a fault. Restore that brother, man. Go to him and him alone. Talk to that brother. Go ahead.
Come. Restore such a one in the spirit of meekness.
Right, in a spirit of meekness. You understand? That means that you're talking to him, and you might even be checking him. If you're above his rank, you might be even checking him. But it's still meek. You're not trying to belittle him. You're not trying to, you know what I mean, shit on him. You're trying to talk to him as a brother and let him know you can't be doing that because you care for that brother. Go ahead.
Okay. So, like, sir, question.
Go ahead.
How do you do that if you're not above his rank?
You can still do it. You just got to be like, Salaki, if I may. You know, I know I dropped you off. I know you're above me, sir. You know, I've seen you left this blunt. You know, I left this blunt in my car. First, I'm offended by it because I could have been, pulled over and I never know what was here. And then all of a sudden I'm in the jam. And also, you know, if I could, sir, if you need counseling on it, you know, you might want to get counseling. At that point, it's a brother between a brother. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, you just watch how you say things. You don't want to come in overly aggressive or like you're trying to tell him what to do. But you have to do it in a more like, you know, Salakia, you know, talking to them like that. That's how you got to do it. Right. But it don't not get done just because a brother is over you. And why do I say that? What's the incident that we have in the Bible to where someone outranked someone and the one that was the one that was being outranked had to check him? Paul and Peter. Peter didn't want to go to the Gentiles.
Right.
Remember, Peter was turning the Gentiles away, and Paul had to check him and say, hey, did not the Lord send us to the Gentiles too?
Right.
And then that's when Peter had the dream with Cornelius. You know what I mean? But that's also Paul had to check Peter, like, because, you know, Paul was the one that was going amongst all the other nations and to the Gentiles, going to Romans. And that's where you got the letters of Paul. You know what I'm saying? So Peter was not trying to do it. And Paul was like, hey, remember Christ, he checked them. So it still need to be done.
Right.
You just, Salakia, you understand that he's a man that outranks you. You know what I'm saying? But there's still a way to do it, which, like you said, just Salakia, and you're not trying to make it seem like you're trying to tell him what to do. It's like you're reminding him of the truth. You understand? So yeah, that's how you would do that situation.
Come, throw out, sir.
All right, no sweat. We at Galatians 6:1. Read that from the top again.
Come, sir. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness.
Right, go ahead.
Considering thyself.
Right, considering thyself, meaning that you don't. This is a double meaning. Like a lot of scriptures you'll realize have double meanings. Like they can be used in two different ways. You know what I'm saying? And this one is one of those that have double meanings. When it says consider thyself, meaning that you could be in a situation where you could be in a fault or you could be overtaken by a fault. Wouldn't you want a brother to help you out?
Come.
Right. Or it can be looked at it in a double way of if you see a brother that's in a fault and you decide that you ain't going to say nothing. Now, do you secretly hate that brother that you want him to fall? Right. Or is there something that's wrong with you? There's something that's going on with you where you got an issue with this brother. And now you like, you know what? That's what you get. Look at you. You know what I mean? That's a double meaning to that. You got to consider yourself, man. Go ahead.
Come, sir. Consider thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Right. Lest thou also be tempted. Meaning that, just like I said, you can be tempted by having a spirit on you of now you hate your brother. Now you can let the devil to come in and seep into you, and you like, see, that's what you get when you told me that day that let me see. When you told me that day that I ain't got no beard. You know what I mean? Talking about myself. You said I can't go no beard, that's what you get. You know what I mean? But I feel like I got a problem when someone say, oh, you got a baby face, and I don't want to say nothing. I don't got no problem with that. I don't care. You know what I mean? I look good regardless of liking. But you know what I mean? It could be simple like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Lord, you know what I mean? You got to check yourself. You got to check yourself with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Is there any more on that? Go ahead.
Because like you got these especially these individuals like that be out there calling themselves trying to teach it, have camp out in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to me, it's like they seem offended because don't nobody, like if somebody doesn't agree with them or, they're going back and forth, they always want, the first thing they want to say is, oh, you're going to be part of the 2/3.
Right. And listen, that's wicked as hell to say that. You understand? Anybody out there that's actively saying you're part of the 2/3, you're not, they might want to check themselves. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say nothing, but I can tell you that it's not looking good for you. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not the Lord. You know what I mean? I want the Lord to have mercy on every Black, Hispanic, and Native American because maybe you just misguided.
Right.
But I can tell if you're saying that actively to people, you're not as holy as you think you are. You're not, you know what I mean? Like you got a ways to go because you shouldn't be actively wishing harm on anybody.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if the Lord will take care of you and it's the Lord's willing, then it's the Lord's willing. Right. You understand? Like the IUIC, that's the Lord's willing. The Lord's going to do what the Lord do because you decided to come up against the Lord's chosen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like Commander General Hunter said, one of their brothers got shot. That's the Lord's judgment. But then also Commander General Hunter say, don't go shoot them brothers. You know what I'm saying? We're not wishing that any, you know what I'm saying? Now the Africans, to hell with them. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna be honest with you. But if that's an actual brother in there, you understand? That's why the Commander General Hunter warned him to get out of that.
Right.
You understand? No, you don't wish harm on, you don't 2/3. That's wicked as hell, man. That's wicked as hell because what did Moses do? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Look, the Lord was about to make it nothing but Mosaites.
God.
He said, I'll just get rid of everybody. And the Lord, and Moses said, Salaki, no, Lord, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's the spirit that you gotta be in. You care about you care about every Black, Hispanic, and Native American. You know what I mean? So nah, you were absolutely right about that. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir, if I may, quick question. Could this next verse be the answer to Cain asking the Most High, is he his brother's keeper?
Let me see it, because I was going to ask him if there's more to it. Go ahead, read the next one.
Come, sir. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 2. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ.
Right. Okay. Now, what was your question?
This is saying to bear your brother's burdens, like be with him on that. Would that then make you your brother's keeper? Like,
we don't use that word brother's keeper,
right? Because it's not in there. I was just actually had a conversation about that with somebody, and I was like, that's not in the Bible in terms of.
There's no brother's keeper. That's Esau being wicked,
right?
You know what I mean? So no, I wouldn't use that for, because when they say bear ye each other's burdens, that means that if a brother has a problem and he's in the truth, it's like we have a problem. We got to figure it out. We got to figure out the solutions, because we all together. You understand? And we know also that if one brother have an issue, it can what does it say? The scripture say one lump can mess up the whole bread or something like that. Or you got the situation of where they was at war and they was told to get rid of all the stuff, and the other brother tried to like keep the garment and all the stuff, and it ended up causing a whole bunch of brothers to die when they sent them off to war. It's like, so we all together. We got to all be in unison. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like we bear each other burdens. We there for each other, because who else we gonna count on but each other? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't relate that or precept that anything to how Cain rocks, because Cain, the spirit of Cain right now is in Esau. Esau is Cain. If y'all didn't know, if y'all want the class, I can teach the class. But Esau is Cain. That's the spirit. The whole, when they say Cain came out red all over. I mean, no, Cain came out with the curse, the mark of Cain. Right. That's Esau coming out red all over. That is that mark that separates him from everybody. You understand? Like I said, if you want the class, just text me. I'll give it to you. I've done it before, or I can just send it to you. I've done it before, but I wouldn't precept that anything with what Cain doing the brother's keeper. Go ahead.
And we got to remember, when Cain said, "Am I my brother's keeper?" he was saying that out of arrogancy and mockery.
Right. He was saying that as disrespect.
Right.
Like, am I supposed to know when my brother? I'm supposed to be keeping up with my brother.
But Slaki, sir, I was saying, doesn't this verse say you should know if your brother's Tawab? You should know if he's going through something, because that's how you can bear his burdens. If you communicate with that.
I mean, you should always know the men that the scripture say, know the men that labor amongst you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, in the sense of like the brother's keeper and stuff like that, I'm
just stay away from keeper.
Yeah, I just would stay away. Listen, let's bear each other burdens.
Let's do it like that.
Let's know the men that labor amongst us. That brother's keeper, I know that's not a word that we use, and it's like all praise to the Most High. Like,
right.
That's not what the Lord wants.
That's not the spirit of Christ.
Just right quick, everybody thinks that it's up to great sin, because what it is, when they said that in the movie, New Jack City, am I my brother's keeper and all that, and everybody, But they got to remember towards the end what happened. They was hugging each other, crying. Once his wife was crying, he was, because his brother's like, "Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper?" And he said, "Yes, I am." And he stabbed him and pushed him off the roof. So that right there tells you just how still wicked that is to say that.
Right. Yeah. It's just, like you said, it's just the wrong spirit to be in to think. That's just, what I mean. Somebody said Salaki on a conference call.
Oh yeah, come. So I was trying to see two questions if I could. Was that precept you were talking about, Galatians 5:9, where it say a little living it the whole lump.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking for, Con.
Okay, come throughout the say. Then another question, you know what I mean, pertaining to the subject, with you know, with offending the brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it safe to say, like, okay, well, I'm building up to that question, like, you know, in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Like, they was trying to, you know, you can get, it's like, you can get killed for what you say. Even they was trying to, you know what I mean? They was trying to murder Christ, you know what I mean, according to his word. But other side of that too is, you know, like, how that saying that we heard when we was a little kid all the time was like, sticks and stone may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Is that the reason why we look at like words, you know what I'm saying? Like they ain't nothing but really they are something because, you know what I'm saying, a look would disrespect you. So if a look would disrespect you, if somebody walk past you and they look at you a certain way, but surely if they said, what you looking at, elf nigga?
Give me
that's gonna offend you even more. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot easier.
Right. Give me Abishai, hold where we at. Give me Proverbs 18 and 21. Real quick though, because I don't know if I got much time. Give me Proverbs 18 and 21. But you absolutely right. You know, we look at it as like, you know, sticks and stone may break my bones, words will never hurt me. So we talk like, you know, even though we know it's not even true. Because people say words don't hurt them, but go out and call another man a bitch and see what he do. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we know the truth, but yeah, we're taught that because we try to think in our mind like, you know, that type of stuff. But we're going to get Proverbs 18 and 21 real quick, and that's going to answer everything. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. The book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Right. Death and life is in the power of the tongue, man. Meaning that you might say words don't hurt you, but words can lead to either your death or life, man. You understand? That's how powerful the tongue is. You know what I'm saying? Words will hurt you. You know, you say words don't hurt you, they will hurt you because you can kill someone off of words.
Yeah.
Or you can give them life. You understand? So we're going to drop that. We're not going to go more into it. We're going to drop that because for time's sake. But yeah, you're right. We taught that it's not, but we know the truth. You understand? Give me James 5 and 19 real quick.
Come on, sir. The book of James, chapter 5 and verse 19. Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth.
Right. So if any of you start to go off from the truth, error goes off in the truth, go ahead.
Come on. And one convert him, let him know that he which converteth the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death.
Right. If you go and you see a brother doing wrong, or you know he's doing wrong, rather than, you know, talking about the brother or, you know what I mean, being ill towards the brother because they're doing wrong. If you go and you save him, knowing the truth, you will save the brother, man. You understand? You gained the brother, you saved the brother, and that even is an offense. You know what I mean? You offended by it. You understand? That's how important it is to go to a brother, talk to a brother in any type of context or retrospect you can think of. You know what I'm saying? It's good to talk to your brothers one-on-one. It's good to talk to them, know what people's doing, and helping out. You shouldn't ever have it in your mind that you want to talk about a brother. You know what I mean? Even if he's doing wrong, you don't want to talk about a brother. You understand? Because that causes division. That causes you to be separate from him. That causes you to try to get other people, because essentially what you're doing is you're trying to get other people to look at him in a certain type of way that you look at him. That's wicked.
Right.
You understand? If you got an issue with a brother, that's between you and him. That's not between nobody else. Even if you do have an issue, that's still your brother. You understand? Is that it on that? Read the next verse.
Come on, sir. And shall hide a multitude of sins.
Right, we're going to drop. It was more to that, but for time's sake, we're going to drop that. Give me James 4 and 11. James 4 and 11.
Come on, sir. The book of James, chapter 4 and verse 11. Speak not evil one of another.
Right. Speak not evil one of another. You should not speak. There should be no situation where you speaking evil of a brother. You understand? There should never be a situation where you're talking about any brother, oh, he does this, and oh, he does that, and oh, he's this way, or you know what I mean? That's wicked.
Come.
You understand? And what you'll find out is if you got the nerve, or you got the urge, or you got the want to talk evil on a brother, then more than likely you're offended by that brother, and you should be talking to that brother one alone. Meaning that if you ever in a situation where somebody comes up to you, well, let's say somebody come up to you in the Apostle and it's like, man, hey, that man Marasal be doing this and you hear Marasal name out his mouth and he's saying something negative. You could be like, listen, Slaki Adawan, whatever it is. I don't want to really hear that, sir. Right. It sounds like you might want to talk to him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And maybe you have an issue with him. You know, like if it's somebody above you, maybe you have an issue with him. I know it might not be my place, sir, but it sounds like you might want to, you know, just have a conversation with him and talk to him, sir. It's lucky, you know what I mean? But I definitely don't want to, you know, hear any ill will going towards my Mama Saw.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you check it. What was you know, if it was me, you know, you come at me, I don't want to hear that shit. That has nothing to do with me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn. Salaki, excuse my language. You might want to talk to that brother. You know, you should probably talk to him. You may have an issue with him. See what's going on. Y'all figure it out. I don't want to hear it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now it's a situation that if I'm above you, then I might, you know, give you scriptures and help you in the situation where you're coming to me and why it's wrong. But the situation that you have, I don't have nothing to do with that. You're gonna have to figure that out yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely gonna give you scriptures of why you wrong for doing what you're doing right now. You know what I mean? And how maybe you can go about it next time. You know what I'm saying? But you shouldn't be speaking evil on no brother, and you shouldn't be willing to hear someone speak evil on another brother.
Right.
You shouldn't even be willing to even give your ear to it. Don't even allow for a space for it to even fester. You know, you gotta kill that. You gotta nip that in the bud, man. Because that shit right there causes division. You know what I mean? It causes division. It causes people to formulate opinions on people who they don't even know, or they might not even have an opinion themselves on. You know what I mean? You can't tell me how to think of anybody. I'm going to think about whoever I want to think of based off of my interactions with them. Like I'm gonna have to know for myself. You can't tell me who you think this person is. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you should be. You know what I mean? Is there any more on that? Keep going.
Speak not evil one of another. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judges his brother speaketh evil of the law. And judges,
right, meaning that if you speaking evil on a brother, right, you trying to tell you just like you're judging his brother. And if you're judging his brother, you're speaking evil of the law, man. You understand? Because that's not what you're supposed to do. It's gonna get more in it. Go ahead.
Come. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge.
Right. Meaning that if you're judging the law, then you don't do it. What does it mean when if you're a judge of the law, you're not a doer of it?
Salaki Adawan.
Go ahead.
I just think of the scripture that says, "Be not like." Is it like basically calling you like like the Pharisees, a hypocrite or something?
Right. You onto it. Right. You onto it. Go ahead.
So, like you, sir, is it saying that you feel yourself to be above the law?
You gotta think about like how the cops think that they judge the law, but do they do the law? And they don't. Go ahead, Makala.
I think you were gonna make. You were saying the thing I was gonna say, like with you know what I mean, like a cricket judge or somebody, you know, sentencing somebody and they pretty much doing the same crime. So it's like.
Right. You understand? It's like you're in a situation where if you're judging the law, you find yourself in a situation where you're judging the law, you're not doing the law because you're worried about judging it. You're not even doing it yourself. You understand? Read it from the top again.
Hey, Slug,
or go ahead.
So yeah, but okay. So right there, right when you like say say you backbiting about a brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
How I mean, like, of course that's wrong. But like for me to teach somebody that, like, how would I break it down? You know what I'm saying? Like, to show them like that's judging when you just, you know what I mean? You talking about a brother's life.
Like you saying you backbiting, how would you tell them that you judging a brother based off of, you know, you backbiting? Yeah. It's because, okay, what it is when they're saying that, you know, you judging them, well, you're telling this brother's character and you don't know. That's like a judge, you know what I mean? Like when a judge comes, they're giving you the decision.
Right.
They're giving you the final decision. You know what I'm saying? So when you're sitting here saying, okay, let's say if I backbite on you, Makola, I'm like, yeah, man, Makola really ain't in the truth. He really don't care about it. This, that, and the third. He rather. I don't want to, you know. He rather do crack. Like he just want to do crack all the time. He's a crackhead. And really, I don't even know.
Okay. I'm
telling you his character, and I'm judging him, and I haven't even talked to this brother even to figure out, you know what I mean? What's going on? What's the issue? You don't even know. You know what I mean? But you're judging him by telling people who he is as a person. But it's like that's not who that brother is. You have no idea who this brother is because you don't even talk to him. Go ahead.
Right. And Salaki, sir, if I may, could it also be that like what you're saying? But what if I did know, but I didn't take it to him and him alone? In essence, like
right. So like you know he actually does. You know he does crack.
But not even. I wouldn't even go as far as I saw him smoking crack because that's more like nigga, I saw you smoking crack. But more so, he be like if I'm a trooper under Makalai, right? So let's say I come to you, I'm talking to you.
So like for using you as an example, Makalai.
Yeah, he just Go
ahead.
And I was like, and I'm like, yeah, Makalai be telling the troopers, you know, we gotta he be talking to us all harsh and he don't give a damn about us and this, that, and the other. But I never went and talked to that brother about being offended. Mm-hmm. I just instead took it and came to you with it. So I'm already judging the situation in terms of he did wrong. He's a bad person for this without giving him the option or the opportunity to be like, oh, I did what? I didn't even know I did that. I just
exactly.
Came off of the slave, and that's how I talk at the slave, and I'm talking to you the same way, you know.
Right, exactly.
So your brother, you know what I mean? Like I didn't.
That's absolutely correct. You're casting a judgment on him, and you don't know the situation. You don't really know because you haven't went to him and him alone.
Right.
You understand? So keep going on that. It's like you speaking. Think about it. Like you gotta think about it in the verse, in the context. I'm speaking evil on them. Yeah. You're speaking evil. But then the other person you talking to might be like, "That's not him." That's
right.
Me personally, I know Michael. That's not that brother at all.
Right.
Like, you might want to talk to that brother because I know him, and that's not him at all. You know, but you're casting a judgment you don't know. That's what it's saying. So when you're judging someone, you're not a doer. You know, you don't. It's like you're not taking out the time to go and figure it out or do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Come on, sir. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law.
Right, go ahead.
But a judge.
Go ahead.
There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judgest another?
Right, and we know who's the one lawgiver and the ones that's able to destroy. That's the Most High. You understand? Now, this is not the Christian context of where only the Lord can judge me, because if I see you dressed as a whore and I'm saying you can't dress as a whore, I'm not judging you. I'm warning you.
Right. Oh God.
I'm not judging you at all.
Right.
You understand? I'm not sitting here saying this. I'm saying, hey, you can't dress like a whore because you can't. If I see a brother smoking a blunt, you should not be smoking. But if I see a brother making a play, you should not be a witch or witchcraft. That's witchcraft. You selling drugs. You understand? That's not judging someone. You know what I mean? But we know that the only one that can do it is the Most High. That's why you can't sit here and speak evil on a brother. Or no, the Lord can, because guess what? The Lord knows.
Right.
You don't. You're not the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So anybody, is that clear, that verse up for anybody? Got any questions on that? All right. We're gonna see it. Oh, ain't no sweat. Most High in Christ. I just want to make sure I clear up all the verses I bring out for people, so y'all don't have no questions on them. You know what I mean? And hey, if you need more questioning, go ahead. You know what I mean? But this is my class. That's how I like to do it. Give me my last verse. Give me 1 Corinthians 13:4. Salakia.
Come on, sir. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 4. Charity suffereth long.
Right. Charity suffereth. What is charity? Somebody give me a definition. Go ahead.
Is it brotherhood?
Yeah, I mean, but
Salaki Adawan.
Go ahead.
This is the definition of charity. According
not the Webster. If you got the damn, that's the I wanted the coordinates. So go ahead, give me the Bible definition of it. I mean, not the Bible. Give me the definition that you got.
Okay. Come on, sir. Charity. According to the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, charity in the Bible never means giving to the poor,
right?
But always a God-inspired love, which includes.
Right. Go ahead.
I got the Zondervan compact.
I think the brother reading it right now. Go ahead.
Okay, slack, sir.
I know sweat.
Salaki Adawan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Come. But always a God-inspired love, which includes respect for and concern for the welfare of the loved one.
Right. Meaning charity is like, loving your brothers. It's loving. You know what I mean? You always respecting it. It's not like you're giving to the poor, or it's not like a organization. Charity is like it's long suffering. Like if you really care about somebody, you care about somebody. Go ahead.
I was just gonna read it from the verbatim definition from the Zondervan.
Oh, go ahead.
Come on. It says affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, brotherly love.
That is what I was looking for, because it was brotherly love and that's how I connected to. That is what I was looking for. The water. That's brotherly love, charity. You know what I mean? It's affection, caring about your brothers. You understand? So read that from the top again. The water. That was exactly what I was looking for. Because I'm like, I know I read it, but I you know what I'm saying? But good job. The water. You can read that from the top, Salakia. The scripture, 1 Corinthians 13:4. That's where we was at.
Come, sir. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 4. Charity suffereth long and is kind.
Right.
Charity envieth not.
Right. Charity don't envy, man. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta watch yourself if you even envying something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now, even because listen, you can envy a situation and you might know a brother's doing wrong, but you can still be like, well, why is this happening and it's not happening to me, and he's doing wrong and I'm not?
Come.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta always check everything. You understand? And listen, if you're confused, there's always a path to go about it. You know what I'm saying? There's always a righteous path of how to do it. But charity doesn't envy. You know what I mean? If you see a brother doing wrong, you're supposed to have charity towards that brother. Keep going.
Salaki Adawan.
Go ahead.
And General Mahyman, he brought this out a few weeks ago about, like, if you see a brother, if you see someone begging on the street, don't be like, man, it must be nice. I got to go to work and work for my money, but you just beg. You know what I'm saying? You just sit on the corner and beg. It must be nice.
Yeah, nah, that's evil. This takes so much humility and embarrassment to sit there and beg, man.
Right.
You can't even think that. That's evil. But you're absolutely right. But you know, even when I think about it, someone who even would have that thought process, it's like you one wicked.
God, oh God. God, oh God.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? Keep going though with that verse real quick.
Come on, sir. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself.
Right. It's not boastful. It's not like, you know what I mean? I'm being charity to y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's not you, it's nothing to be boastful. It's like a humbleness. Go ahead.
Come on. Charity is not puffed up.
Right. It's not puffed up. Like, you know, you can't be, you know, oh yeah, I'll do this and I do that and I do this and I do that. And you expecting to be charity. That's not charity, man. You understand? You respecting something in return. All right. Read 5, verse 5.
Come on. Verse 5. Doeth not behave itself unseemly. Seeketh not her own. Is not easily provoked. Thinketh no evil.
Right, exactly. You understand? When you have charity, don't behave itself unseemly. Charity shouldn't come off as, you know, negative or something wrong. You know, you're not doing it for your own gain.
Right.
You know, don't seek your own. You're not doing it for your own gain. You're not looking to benefit from it. You understand? It's not easily provoked, meaning that someone, if you're really truly feel charity, someone can't provoke you to not do it now. You know what I'm saying? Go to verse 6.
Come on, sir. Verse 6. Rejoices not in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth.
Right. Iniquity is sin. No, it doesn't rejoice in that. Rejoice in the truth. Read the verse 7 and we're going to close that out.
Come on, sir. Verse 7. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things.
Right. Endure all things, man. You understand? There is no situation that you can't overcome, especially if it's with another brother. Right. You understand? There's a way that we figure it out. You go to that brother alone. If he don't hear you, go to counsel. If he do, that's the end of it. You understand? And it's in any situation, as I explained, that arise, that you should do that. You understand? Because we don't want no division in this school, man. We don't want no brother hating no other. But there should be no instance of any brother feeling ill will, hating, or dislike. I know a lot of people like to be like, well, I don't hate him, but I just don't want to be around him. Listen, that's absolutely wicked. There should never be a brother where you're like, oh, damn, he here. You know what I'm saying? That's absolutely wicked. You know what I'm saying? So with that, we're going to pass the class off to Officer Mawasar. All right, that's fine.
ISUPK security announcements. We had an ISUPK started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3:8-10, means tenth in the Hebrew, my Ishra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. I'll be September 15th. And you can find that in Leviticus 23:24-25. Remind Akim and Akwas to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, give one courtesy salute to the teacher, man of Israel, Majum. Masabat, Mach, Rock, Yahweh.
Oh, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatham.
And what we said, translated from the Hebrew to the English, is Lord bless you in the name of Christ. Yahweh top, hands down. Any sisters in the class? All right, one courtesy salute to the teachers, men of Israel. Imagine.
One courtesy salute to the sisters. You got to do song.
Oh, Sark here. One courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel. SARS, which means the turn. Men of Israel. Imagine. Imagine Sabat. Imagine. Rock. And what we said, translated from the Hebrew to the English, is Lord, watch over you in the name of Christ. Yahweh top, hands down. Class is missed.
Sighing and crying, begging for justice.
I got you.
For so long you've been sighing and crying, begging for justice, and here the Lord is bringing you justice right here to your streets.
CDIs.